Hi, Marcus de Maria here with your Insight of the Day, brought to you by Your Crypto Club. And I wanted to teach you something really interesting here. And you might have seen this before for stocks, which is the Wall Street cheat sheet. It's called the Psychology of a Market Cycle. You might have seen this before, but I'm going to show you how it actually pertains to the current price of Bitcoin, because it's actually mirroring it almost exactly. So what happens is that, people don't really believe that there's a kind of a rally going on. It goes up, there's a bit of disbelief, and there's hope and optimism. And people kind of get in around this point here where they believe, okay? Now, when it starts getting thrilling and euphoric is where they load up, So when it comes back down, they get complacent, and it's a case of, it's going to come back up. Then you have a big fall down here. Now, I want you to remember this. At around this denial, panic, and capitulation, they start selling, and but then obviously they're happy that it's gone down a little bit, right? But then they get angry because, of course, they bought at the top. The top is the point of maximum financial risk, where you should not be buying, which is where everybody buys. Down here is the point of maximum financial opportunity. This is where everybody sells. Because when they're angry and depressed, obviously they're not going to be buying. In fact, they're going to be selling. And but this is the best time to buy. Now, I talked to you about Bitcoin. Let's have a look at where Bitcoin is. It followed the cycle exactly. If you look at Bitcoin today, so this is from July the 11th, I'm going to say. Is that right? Today's the 12th, right?
13th.
Today's 13th, so this was from July the 12th. If you have a look at this, so it basically came up here, came down, came up, okay, not as high, and then came down. Let's have a look at the cycle. It goes up, comes down, then comes up, but not as high as it did here. Follows it exactly, and then comes down. Now watch this. It goes up, but then comes down lower than before going up, but not as high as here. So remember, this is lower, okay? So let's have a look at it. So it then goes up, and then comes down, but this is lower than this, and then comes up, but not as high as this. This is lower, okay? So you're talking about lower lows, and you're talking about lower highs as well. So let's have a look here. So we're at this point here, which is lower than this point here, and then it comes down a third time, 1, 2, 3, and the third time is lower again. Notice this is longer than here. Let's have a quick look here. Oops, that's my account. I'll show that to you some other time. So this goes up here, comes back down. So this one here is lower than here, as we said. Then it goes up, but that's lower than here. And then it comes down, but this is longer. And this should be lower than this, which it is. 1, 2, 3. So what am I talking about? It means that it is absolutely following up until this point here. This is where we are right now, this point here, before it starts going back up. This is really exciting. It is actually following the psychology of the normal market cycle. Well, of course it is. This is being bought and sold. This is being traded in a market by people. It doesn't change. It's always the same. So where are we? This is what you want to know. And more importantly, what's going to happen next? So the question is this little rally here the start of the rally up, where people start believing again? Or are we in a channel where it's going to go down one final time, in my opinion, to around 5,500, maybe even testing the 5,000 before it goes up, with all the news coming out with Goldman Sachs that they're going to be offering a trading desk and offering Bitcoin. Sakania, was it? I can never say that name anyway. The 9th largest trading platform, they are now going to be offering it as well, with the CBOE putting in their application in order to get an ETF, a Bitcoin ETF. Van Eck trying again, even though the SEC already said no to them, to have an ETF backed by actual Bitcoin. Everything is happening. Coinbase saying that they're going to offer custodial services, which is the thing that is missing. So if the custodian services are being offered, and we're going to need more than just Coinbase, but and the only thing that's missing now is regulation, and that seems to be happening as well. Why? Because Malta just came out and passed 3 laws, making them a powerhouse in the crypto world. And so companies and exchanges like IDX, but I can't remember what it was then, but it was certainly Binance that said they were going to move over here. So it's all happening. So that means, is there going to be one final going down before it goes back up, or is this the start of it going back up? And then it's going to be starting that whole rally again, disbelief right here, then hope, optimism, belief, thrill, euphoria. my mentor believes we're going to hit 35,000 by the end of the year. So this is Marcus de Maria with your Insight of the Day, brought to you by your Crypto Club.